Hello, darlings, and a very warm welcome indeed to Wednesday Night Live with me. It's old Boaty, and I'm going to be your host for the next 59 minutes as we say goodbye to Wednesday, the 24th of April, and we welcome in Thursday, the 25th. I'm a bit tired. That's why I'm struggling to work that out. And we will welcome in Thursday, the 25th, which has all the promise of being a rather wonderful day, potentially stuffed with extra plumptiousness. And I've just considered the possibility that I will have a real treat for lunch tomorrow. In fact, I'm torn between the possibility of two treats. I don't mean the possibility of having two lunches. I mean the possibility of having a choice of two lunches, both of which would be, in my book, and possibly in some of yours, very much a treat. And treat what rhymes with feet. And I don't think any of us are here to deny that, are we? No, absolutely not. I hope that each and every one of you currently watching this and wishing that I'd get on with saying something more interesting, like reading out the comments from you fantastic people who club together and really grab this live stream by the cock, by the neck, and give it a damn good shaking and get some life into the blessed thing. I hope each and every one of you has had a fabulous day. And if you'd be willing to share it, I'm sure we would all love to hear about your day. What time did you get up? What did you have for breakfast? Oh, anything else you want to tell us about the day? Did something nearly, but not quite, fall on your head? Did you make a silly mistake in your everyday routine? No, I did, ladies and gentlemen. Here is an example of feature one. Making a silly mistake in a regular routine. Now, with my second cup of coffee this morning, and you know me and my habits, I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning. Oh, yeah, I do. I have the first one first, and then when I've had the first one, at some point thereafter, I have another one. And I like to think of that one as the second one. And what I did, for some reason, and I don't know why, and this is a warning to you all, change your routine at your peril. For some reason, I do know why. It's because the teaspoon was dry. And I thought it made sense not to put a wet teaspoon into the sugar, because when you put a wet wet t-shirt, there's a Freudian slip. When, how many Freudians does it take to change a light bulb? 2. 1 to actually change the light bulb and 1 to hold the penis. Ladder. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So my second cup of coffee, I put the sugar in before I put the coffee into the coffee machine artifice of potential excitement and waking upness. And I don't know. Well, I didn't know why I did that. It's because I thought, oh, my sugar keeps getting claggy because I leave I'm terrible. I leave the teaspoon in the cup while the coffee's being made. So the teaspoon is then wet because coffee is quite honestly a liquid. And then I put the teaspoon into the sugar bowl to spoon the demerara, if you please, sugar into the coffee. And of course, it makes the sugar all claggy. So I put my sugar in first, didn't I? Made my coffee, came back to the table because there's been a lot of action at this table today, darlings. A lot of action. And it's been really quite satisfying. I went to work with the biggest smile on my face. Oh, yes, I don't mind telling you. Well, obviously, I don't mind telling you. I just told you. And that was a massive clue for you, that was. You should have picked up on that, really. So I made the coffee, which, keep up with me, already had the sugar in. What did I do? Went back, thought, oh, the coffee will be made now. I heard the beeping of alertness and awareness. Went back and just automatically put the sugar in, didn't I? So I had double sugar in the coffee. I had to try and spoon some of it out. I had to not stir it because it would have been horrendously sweet. And that kind of put a slight damper on the cup of coffee that came after the first cup of coffee, which I call my cup of coffee number one. But on this occasion, I'm talking about the cup of coffee that came after that, which I like to call my second cup of coffee. So have you got a story similar to that to share with your friends here in the community? Now, excuse me, I'm going to have a drink. And also excuse me if I cough, splutter, sneeze, or need to blow my nose, because I have got the beginnings of lurgy, darlings. Oh, yes. I've got a bit of rawness in the old throat. I've got a bit of an old throbber, bit of an old headache I've got. So forgive me if I make some sort of horrendous noise of one nature or another. I'm now going to have a drink. And before I do so, I'm going to wish all of you, my dear and lovely friends, I'm going to wish you a long life, the good health, the time to enjoy it, and lots of happiness. Yeah, absolutely. Bottoms up, up yours, cheers, prost, etc. Narok, if you're... Oh, okay. Well, let's turn that into quiz question number one, shall we? Now, obviously, when we raise a glass in this country, we say cheers. What country would you be in if you raised your glass and clinked glasses and said Narok? No Googling, you big bloody cheaty pants. Ugh, honestly, you're only cheating yourself. Oh, I needed that. It was unexpectedly busy in the restaurant tonight. Now then, who have I got? Who have I got? Lord Stiffer. Your father was a hamster and your mother smelt of elderberries. More on that story later. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is with us and says, hey, Boaty, hey to you. Jimmy the Quinn is with us, the good old Jimmy. Good evening, Boaty, and all. Good evening, Jimmy. The lovely Sophie is here. Hi, how are we all this lovely evening, and how's everyone's day been? And how has your day been, Boaty? How have you been? I've been wonderful, Soph. I've been hard at it today, but my God, am I pleased with the results. I'm going to tell you all about that later. 3, 2, 1. It's the maiden wine burp, darlings. A pivotal moment in any live stream, I find, and delivered in, I flatter myself, quite a professional manner. Oh, yeah. I used to be on BBC Radio, you know. Yes. Evening all. Oh, that was a bit too enthusiastic, wasn't it? I'll tone it down a bit. Evening all, says Tracy, the Greenwood, except no pale imitations, quite honestly, darlings. And Tracy says, evening all, Boaty, the M11 is tied up. Yeah, well, she did say that she was often strapped for cash. I suppose that's one way to earn a living, isn't it? And requests that Boaty give her a quickie, she means quick call, after the live stream. I will try, although I might be asleep after the live stream. I'm absolutely hoovered I am. Barry is here, or Barry was here, because I've read ahead. I know what's going to come out in this comment, and that's why I've just changed it from Barry is here to Barry was here. And you're going to see why right now. Hey gang, can't stay long. Me and Karen are at the cinema. We're seeing Star Trek 2. Or is that Star Trek 2 or Star Trek 11? So see you later. Must be Star Trek 11 one. I mean, Star Trek 2. Fucking hell. Star Trek 2 was some years ago. Which one was the Wrath of Khan? I mean, that was Star Trek 3, wasn't it? I think Star Trek 2 was the one when Mr. Spoon went to Button Moon. and they followed him, didn't they, on the old Starship Enterprise? Boldly going forward, because we can't find reverse. Star trekking across the universe on the Starship Enterprise under Captain Kirk. Star trekking across the universe. There's Klingons on the starboard bow. Scrape them off, Jim. Oh, I don't know what came over me. Well, I hope you enjoy watching Star Trek 13, Barry and Karen, and thank you for popping in and explaining your lack of further appearances in what I am pleased to call this professional broadcasting situational awareness type, coming right at you, down the line, down the tube. They don't like it up them. Thank you very much. Oh, hello. Bad Books is here and says, good evening all. That's lovely. The willy waving rag has been deployed early, says Trace. Boatical, hello. The lovely Simone of Hooked on Classics. Hello, Simone. Skick is here and says, what's happened to the big numbers Mustard used to get on his channel? But they're not there anymore, Skick. It's an algorithmic thing. The algorithm used to throw the Captain Mustard live streams out there to thousands and thousands of people, and then it stopped doing it. But he's still doing better numbers than me, so he's got nothing to complain about. Mind you, he is a more handsome, more amusing, more charismatic, and more professional broadcaster than I am. So, you know, you get your just desserts in this life, don't you? I'm crap, so I get crap numbers, and rightly so. I deserve to be punished. Mystic Hair is here. Good evening, Boaty. A bit tired, says Trace. Late night last night, Boaty. Yes, Trace. Ross is here, Dino Dad. Hello, and here we are again. Breathing and living, thank goodness. And so say all of us, Ross. I would like to be associated with those sentiments expressed by my right honourable friend. I was awake at 6 a.m. this morning, says Simone. I'm knackered. I bet you are, darling. Could you not get back off to sleep? I had a slightly dodgy, yeah. My restful lion type morning was disturbed by some quite vivid dreams, quite honestly, darlings. Yeah, quite vivid dreams. It was rather late last night by the time I ate my curry, and you know what a late curry can do to your subconscious? Oh, what? I should rub it up. Dear me. A late curry can take your subconscious, lower its trousers and pants, put it over its knee, and give it a jolly good spanking with a wide-bottomed hairbrush. Oh, God, that brings back memories of the Ice Maiden. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Oh, and while I think about it, another welcome to all of those new channel members. Of course, the night before last, or the one before that, I can't remember, we welcome no fewer than 12 new channel members. And I hope you're enjoying your channel membership. And I hope you're planning what to do with the amazing perks that you get. And I hope you're enjoying watching the daily diaries and the behind the scenes bits. The full bloopers and unseen bits and bits from the cutting room floor and bits that were too filthy for broadcast from the actual time at the beach, the beach. All of those will be in the channel members area on Friday. I'm going to say Friday. I've kept them all. I'm going to put them all into one omnibus edition, and you can have a look at it. Some of it is absolutely disgraceful, and quite frankly, I was ashamed to be a part of it. There we are. Good evening and welcome, says Ben, to M11's world. Howdy, eliminators. Indeed, Ben. Are you doing any car deliveries, Simone asks Skick. I found the perfect song for Boaty today. Bras on 45 by Ivor Biggin. Go have a listen. It's one of my favourites, Simone. I've got it on, and I've got Bras on 45. Bras on 45. She was the big economy size. Her bus rhymes were fantastic. I love that. Bras on 45. I'm trying to remember all the lyrics now. God, I've got it ringing around in my head, but I can't pick out the. She was the big economy size. Her bus rhymes were fantastic. Like two something little boys huddling under a blanket. I said, "Oh, heck, it must be jelly because jam don't shake like that." Not so much of a. She was not at all pendulous. In fact, she was tremendous. Brass on 45. And if you enjoyed that one, Simone, then have a look for Hide the Sausage. Hide the Sausage by Ivor Biggin. You'll enjoy that one too. Hide the sausage, come on and hide the sausage. It's time to hide the sausage tonight. You've got to sink the winkle. It's really very simple to straighten out your tinkle tonight. Hide that sausage. Oh dear. 5 to 2 odds on unexpectedly busy in the restaurant tonight, says Ben. Yeah. It was. All right. Well, it is morning here after all, says Russell, up at 5:40 for Mustard Live most mornings. Christ almighty. Pardon me. Oh, hang on, I don't believe in you, do I? The only thing I would get up at 5:44 would be a flight to somewhere nice. I'm buggered if I'd haul my ass out of bed at 5:44 when a Mustard's bloody live streamed. You know you can watch them on catch up, don't you? What the hell are you doing getting up at 5:40 to watch that for? If any of you who, depending on where the time zones are, if any of you are getting out of bed before 6 o'clock in the morning to watch me, then I'm going to seek help for you because you must be absolutely mad. Good job that ladyboys aren't involved in putting up a light bulb, or you would be. Well, it is indeed, Barry. It is indeed. I thought you weren't going to be here. Oh, excuse me. Ben says, request for a BDD sum. What? Request for a BDD sum. What's a BDD sum? Oh, Boaty's Daily Diary. Oh, sorry, I understand it right now. Okay. Request for a Boaty's Daily Diary. Some Jimmy Buffett on the automobile's gramophone. Good idea. We need some Jimmy Buffett in our lives, don't we? Absolutely. Good shout. Now, tomorrow's Daily Diary, you do get a bit of a jukebox action because I went to work in Stickbrook van Sundercock today. And there was a CD in his gramophonic doings that I'd completely forgotten about. So I had a good old jam out to that, and I thought, well, I might as well share it with you. So I turned the old camaraderie on, didn't I? Oh yes, I did. You know me, not shy. What? I should, Coco. I should rub it up. Oh, Godspeed the play. If you thought that you were simply incapable of talking nonsense, do a live stream. You'll find you talk endless amounts of crap without even trying. Goodness me. Now, the wonderful thing about you lot is that if you're anything like me, then there are few joys. You know, when you're on a road trip and you have your cheeky McDonald's, and if you're in Wales, you've paid 5p for the brown paper bag. You know, when you've taken everything out and you just optimistically look in the bag and there are a few fries left there. And those are the best tasting fries of the meal, are they not? Oh, yes. You know it, and so do I. Well, My live streams are like that brown paper bag, and your comments are like the fries, because I know that when I go back to have a look optimistically, I know that there are going to be more comments there. And comments are fodder, live stream fodder, and they're a wonderful interconnectedness between, well, if not all things, then all things that are watching this. And that's a nice thing. Thank you for that. Thank you for being the leftover fries in my brown paper bag. I really appreciate it. And, you know, my brown paper bag wouldn't be the same without you lot in it. In it. In it. In it, bruv. I do speak straight. And let me assure you, I is not chatting pure breeze, bruv. Now then, where did I get to? Ah, yes, that's right. Oh, Neil is here. Neil is here. Hi all, listening in as driving to work until 1. God, what? You're driving into work now? Oh no, driving at work until 1. Oh, that's not too bad. 1 o'clock's quite civilized. You can still eat a good curry at 1 o'clock without getting dreams where you're being pork sworded by Lionel Blair with a maniacal grin on his face. May have just overshared there. Ben says, the table has seen some action. Mr. Sheen sent his wife round to demonstrate buffing. Probably Malta, says Ross. Absolutely. Sorry, Boaty, says Sophie. Was on... Oh right, yeah. Oh yeah. Just let me know that Neil is indeed out until 1 a.m. Bless him. Welcome, Boaty's maiden wine burp and all who's sailing. John Stoodley is with us. Hey, Boaty. Hey, chat. Hope we're all well in the old chat tonight. We hope you're, straining up under the bed as well, John. Bless you. Sophie says, I've had Wolverhampton paint man come and strip all the paint out of the bathroom, as I've had water lick on the wall and had, oh dear, mushrooms and mold growing. So now just waiting for the wall to dry and he's back over tomorrow to finish it off. Jolly good. Star Trek, says Barry. It is Khan. It's a special screening and it's about to start. Khan! Ta-ta for now. Enjoy, Barry. The Wrath of Khan. Well, I did like the one with Mr. Spoon and Button Moon in it. That was great. Nanu. Mark Passad is with us and says, good evening. Simone says, I gained a few subscribers. Very pleased. Good for you, Simone. They won't be disappointed. Hey, Boaty, good to see you, says Pocahontas 100. Feel better soon. Oh, I'm not so bad. Yeah, I mean, if it stayed at this, I would be a happy chap. I'm just worried that it's, I'm not even worried. If it does, it does. I'm aware that it might go into full-on lurgy tomorrow, and if it does, it does. I'll cope with it. I'll take it like a man, as Lionel Blair said while being mounted by Brian Blessed. Oh, oh dear. Blimey, give us a clue. Are you tired, Boaty, because you drove to Norwich last night, asked Jimmy Quinn. And Trey says, I told you that in confidence, Jimmy. Bad Books has been out on an MX5 club fish and chip drive. Well, I'm no expert, but I do know that you can't drive fish and chips. You'd have been better off in a car. Terrorizing lots of Norfolk villages, bit of raping and pillaging, and ending up with a chippy tea at Old Hunstanton. A good turnout of 19 MX5s. Wow. Khan, says Ben. Multiple smashing pistons quizzing champ. Okay. Skick says, I tried to get an appointment at the dentist today. After trying about 5, I give up. They're only taking private appointments. So I have to drive 3.5 hours to my dentist in Spilsby. At least you got a dentist. I can't get one anywhere. Mr. Stephen Parry from Port Sunlight in the Whittle, the Leisure Peninsula, has got this to say. Hi, how are you, Jason? Dear sir, I missed your live stream last night, but watched it today. I think the M11 has the hots for you. Jason was dropping polishing, and I'm enjoying channel membership. Thank you. You're very welcome. I've been to Hunstanton, says Jimmy Quinn, to Searles Holiday Camp. Lovely place. And Mr. Stephen Paddy goes on and says, jump up and down and wave your knickers in the air. A song on the next time you're in the convertible, Jason. I will remember it. 6 o'clock, says Trace. Yes. Oh, yes. Well done, Trace. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Might have to have implants, says Skick, and we'll be looking at overseas, but I'm a bit frightened coming home looking like red rum. Well, when I've got the money, Skick, I will be going to Nepal for my implants. Cheaper than Turkey. I won't have to pay for accommodation because I will stay at Bishnu's place. And I'll make some really good videos. I just need to come up with a few thousand quid. What I need is to do a Sean. I need my YouTube channel to suddenly go viral and start earning pots and pots of money. That's what I need. And I'm going to talk to you about that in just 1 second. It is pretty much halfway through, so this is a kind of semi-intermission. It's a semi-intermissionary position. Or something very much like that. Yeah, we wouldn't want to see you looking like a red rum skit. Ben says, Trace, it's mustard's gift that keeps on giving. There seems to be an issue with the clack. Lionel Blair, you have been having vivid dreams, says Bad Books. The Aquaholic YouTube channel is a big Jimmy Buffett fan, says Jimmy Quinn. And with a name like Aquaholic, I would imagine that his favourite song is the same one as mine, Boat Drinks. I can't remember if I told you to say so, but I've got TikTok day nursery for my induction. I'm really scared. You will be amazing, Soph. I mean, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be nervous. In fact, it's more than okay. It's perfectly normal. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just, being nervous just means that you want to do your best. And if you're nervous, then you'll make sure that you do your best. And I've seen you with children. You're a natural. You will be absolutely amazing. They will love you. You will love them. And it will all be wonderful. I mean, you're bound to be good with children, for God's sake. I mean, you spend all of your time with Neil. I mean, that's amazing training for dealing with an unruly child, isn't it? So those will be absolute little angels compared to him. Now then, I was telling you about the action that this table has seen, or at least I wasn't telling you about it. I was alerting you to the fact that this table has seen some action. It's seen quite a lot today. I've had another day where I got well and truly lost in the edit suite. I've been working on the video from Monday, and right, 2 things really. Well, at least 2 things. I might think some more things. I might find another thing lurking where I'd forgotten I had a thing. You never know. It pays to be open to the possibilities of, surprising and surprising things popping up left, right, and centre. So I've been working on the video from Monday, and I've been working really hard. by which I mean that I've been going mad over minute detail, taking ridiculous amounts of effort and editing and re-editing and, taking things down to 100th of a second, doing the voiceovers, doing the overdubs, doing the mixes, deciding which music to add and where, adding soundtracks, creating unique soundtracks, putting in multiple overlays, all of that sort of thing. I've really been getting too far into it. The video is about 97% done. It'll be going out tomorrow at 19:19, unless I just do the kid on Christmas Day thing and can't wait to open my presents and put it out earlier when it's done. But hopefully I will be disciplined enough to put it out at 19:19. And I was talking about this in the Daily Diary. I want to say that it's amazing, that it's the best thing I've ever done, that it came out better than I dared hope it would, and that if it doesn't do amazing numbers, then it's a bloody disgrace, because it's so much better than a load of the crap out there on YouTube that gets ridiculous numbers. But I can't say that, because it might not be much good. I might just think it is. It's almost certainly not going to do decent numbers. It'll do less than episode 1 because it hasn't got Sean pushing it. And so I'm silly by saying that, any of that. It'll just do normal for one of my videos. But what I am going to say is that I'm really proud of it. I really enjoyed putting that minute detail and that amount of time and effort into it. I mean, I've put about I've put about 10 hours of editing into it, and it's going to be like a 24-minute video. So, think about it. 10 hours to create a 24-minute end product. And I'm going to come on to that in a minute. And I've still got a bit more to do tomorrow. But so what I'm going to say is that I'm proud of it. I fulfilled a promise to myself, because they say that things on the internet last forever. So I've put something out there onto the internet that will last forever, that I really wanted to put out there. Not because it's worthwhile, not because people should watch it, purely because it's important to me, and it's just nice that it's out there. And, now or when I'm gone or whenever, people might look at it and see a little story about a day or an evening in my life that was important to me. It was important at the time, and it's never stopped being important, but in a very non-important way. It's meaningless, really, apart from to me. But sometimes when things are meaningful to you, then that's the ultimate definition of being meaningful. So I'm glad I've done it really well, and I'm glad it's going to be out there. And the other thing that I'll say is that, and this will lead me on to my question, I've enjoyed the exquisite agony of trying to make it as perfect as I can, which sounds ridiculous, and however badly it does, I'm going to carry on and do another one and another one, and I'm going to try and make each one better in some way. Maybe at some point, the cumulative effect, people will start watching them. They'll watch the other ones in the series. Then they'll subscribe. Then the numbers will go up, and the algorithms will throw them out there. And maybe at some point, the channel will have a breakthrough. It almost certainly won't. That kind of thing obviously does happen to some people. It happened to James, JM. It happened to Sean. Happened to Well, it probably happened. There's probably a breakthrough moment for every pretty large channel. But for everyone that it happens to, there are probably hundreds of thousands where it doesn't. So the chances are you're going to be one of the people where it doesn't. But I'm going to keep doing it anyway, at least with the Welsh project, because they're all things that are meaningful to me. And I just get pleasure from putting something that's part of me, part of my life. I take pleasure in putting it out there on the internet and knowing that it's, in theory, it's going to be there forever. And, you know, maybe 40 years from now, when I'm drifting in the wind around the Penrith, then, you know, maybe somebody will watch it and have a little smile on their face. I don't know. But it leads on to the question. If you make YouTube videos, then you will probably understand the addiction. But you lot, whether you make YouTube videos or not, you know me, you know Mustard, you probably know Rob, Beards and Bangers, you know Simon, Smashing Pistons. You'll know lots of YouTube channels that put a lot of time and money into making videos, or at least a lot of time, and a lot of thought and a lot of effort, and above all, a lot of hope and a lot of optimism into making videos for realistically no result. You know, you put so much time, effort, and whatnot. I mean, Mustard does better than me, but his videos do 1,000, 2,000 views, and you know, relatively speaking, he doesn't earn that much from them, and yet his life revolves around putting them out there. I'm just as bad to a different degree. Okay, I do a different job as well, and I'm trying to back off a bit, but you know, I'm still obsessively trying to put stuff out there. I mean, and the question is this: do you think we're mad? Or are we mad? Are we mad for doing it? Are all people who put stuff up on YouTube mad? Where is the sense in it? I mean, do you get it? Do you think, well, yeah, I can see why you do it. I can totally see why you do it. You know, it's a hobby, it's whatever. I can totally see why you do it. Or do you kind of look at it and think, well, why do you do that? Surely your time would be better spent. Okay, if you're making a video and it's driving out in the seaside or something like that, then I'm sure you could see that, well, okay, you're having fun and you just happen to be filming it. Or if you're at work, then I'm sure you could say, well, okay, you're at work. Excuse me. You're at work, you're filming it, you might as well, you've got to be at work anyway. But then there's all of the editing, and above all, there's the hope, the insane hope that that you're going to get. I mean, you heard Simone earlier say she picked a couple of subscribers today, and that made it a good day for her. Now, if you pick up, well, I mean, the other day I picked up 140 subscribers, right? That's like winning the lottery if you're emotionally invested in this nonsense. But in real terms, what does having 140 subscribers mean? It doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't put money in the bank necessarily. It doesn't buy you I don't know. Do you think we're mad, or do you get it? Do you get why we do it? Or are we just crazy for doing it? And should we? And I'm not talking about the people who just chuck something up for the family or for a bit of fun or for a laugh or whatever. I'm talking about the people that actually, two things. the people that, one, put effort into it, like Mustard, like me, and like, many others, some of you who will be watching. And number two, somewhere deep inside have hopes that, yeah, I could have a breakthrough. This could be a thing. Are we mad? Are we mad? Should we spend our time just chilling out or doing something that actually earns money? I was just thinking about it because 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, I was obsessing over episode 1 of The Welsh Thing. The last few days, I've been working my ass off. I've spent 2 complete working days trying to get the video from Monday. Mustard, bless him, my best friend, God love him. He gave a whole day of his time and money for petrol to come out and help me do it. Are we crazy? Sometimes I wonder. And yet, you get so obsessed by it. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I'm trying to say, but I think you probably get the idea, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And somebody has just done a lovely thing, and it is Mark. Bless him. Mark, let me add a heart to that. Boaty, he sent a super chat. Bless him. Thank you so much, Mark. Boaty, you being yourself in Wales or anywhere is why we're here. Please stick with it. I don't think you're mad, and your community don't either. You're here, we're here. And lots of people have liked that, and quite rightly. You see, that does make sense. That does make sense. It's just sometimes, I'm not saying, give me encouragement because I'm thinking about stopping doing it. I've told you exactly the opposite. I'm absolutely gonna keep on doing it. It's addictive. It's but not everything that's addictive is good, I suppose. Although I think this is. It's certainly not doing any harm, is it? I'm just nonsensically excited about this bloody silly video. This 24 minutes that I don't know how to put it, but I'm really excited by it. And I said in the daily diary that I'm not a man that ever wishes my life away, and I love to go to work. And today was one of the days where I either wished I didn't have to go to work, or I wished that it was already tomorrow morning, just so that I can do the last bits to the video and get it ready. I was sitting here looking at the clock thinking, right, I'm going to have a bath. I normally allow an hour before I need to leave the house. I start my getting ready routine, having a bath, blah, 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 shaving, whatever. And I'm just working on this thing, and I'm watching the clock thinking, okay, 45 minutes, I can still do that. Oh, right, 30 minutes, not a problem. I'll have a shower, not a bath, quickly shave, blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing you know, I'm electric shaving with one hand. Well, because it's just so, and the reason it was like that was because it was working, it was coming together. When you see the film, maybe you'll get it, or maybe you'll think, well, that was just a load of crap. What the fuck was he babbling on about? But there's the end sequence. The end sequence. If you can, keep this in mind when you watch the end sequence, right? Because I'm going to tell you something very, very specific, and then I'll probably shut up. When you watch the end sequence, the very end of the video, listen carefully. And if you listen very carefully, there are 3 overlaid sound channels on the playout. If I told you how long I worked on firstly creating those individual 3 channels, and then overlaying them individually and then tweaking them so that one came in and the other came out, and everything happened just at the right time. So that in my crazy mind, then the combination of the audio and the visuals meant that there was like, this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, but when I got it dead right, and I thought, I think I've got that right. I think I've got the end point right. At that point, I'd been working on 30 seconds of footage I'd been working on for about an hour and 3/4. I know, ridiculous. And I thought, I think I've got that. And I sat back, stood up, thought, right, play your head so that you're watching it properly. Sat back down and I watched that 30 seconds, and it was so perfect I could have bloody cried. And how idiotic is that? How idiotic is that? You know, over a video that's going to go up, 200 or 300 people are going to watch it. Some of them, hopefully, most of them might like it. Crazy. I don't know. Maybe we're all frustrated filmmakers, or maybe some of us are. Something like that. Anyway, let's get back to some comments, shall we? Let's get back to reality. Soph, says Ben, focus on the little ones. That'll help everything else work out and lower the stress level. I completely agree with that. That is really good advice. Aquaholic, says Jimmy Quinn. He looks around super yachts and boats, and he's got 500,000 channel members. Lucky bugger. I bet Boat Drinks is his favourite song then. Bound to be. Hello, everyone, says darling Captain Mustard. How are you, my lovely? Thank you for popping in for however long you pop in for. You'll be brilliant, Soph. We all know you'll be brilliant. Mark says, Soph, as a dad, what I've seen you do online has suggested to me that you'll be great in the job. Fingers crossed. Oh, see her in real life, Mark. She's we were at the yard once, and Mustard's girls were there, and Soph just automatically forget about us. She was all about the girls, and they loved her. And it was so obviously natural, you know. It's not like somebody with Soph. It's not like somebody saying, "Right, this is my job. This is what I have to do." Blah blah blah. It's just obviously natural. She's just on. She's got a wavelength that gets kids, and they get her. It happens with dogs as well. You've just got animals like Boo. I've told you, Boo was like what's his name? Doolittle, Dr. Doolittle. Dr. Doolittle? Yeah, Dr. Doolittle. Animals just automatically trusted and wanted to be around her. Even the weirdest animals. I told you, when we were at the she's still at the Cabbage Patch in Matlock Bath. But when we were there, and of course the Cabbage Patch was almost into the forest of the hills and the cliffs on Matlock Bath. So we got a lot of animals. And it was ridiculous. Animals that you can't touch would just love her. We raised a baby squirrel that found Boo and wouldn't leave her. We heard that that squirrel was seen dead, and we assumed that it was the mother or the parent. And this baby squirrel just literally ran up Boo and was going nowhere. So she raised it. And it was the same with ridiculous, even a slow worm. You can't handle a slow worm. They shed their tail and bugger off. Not with Boo. not with Boo. It was all over. And some people just have that connection. And Sophie's definitely got it with kids. You've already missed some of the clack piss-taking, Captain Mustard, says Trace. He has indeed. And he did a holiday himself. Yeah, well, it's fucking... I'm trying so hard not to do it that, of course, I end up doing it, don't I? There seems to be an issue with the clack. Fuck off. On your video, did you edit out those and that, says Bad Books? Yes, of course I did. But it will all be in the channel members area when I put up the whole behind the scenes things. Well, I'm on my own tonight, says Soph. But I miss Neil's company, but it's been a busy day and I'm now here with everyone and I have a glass of wine. Good for you. Sean has more time than you, Boaty, says Skick. Working full-time limits you. Well, yeah. I suppose that's true, but... Well, yeah, I suppose that's true. To be honest, it's not the working full... Not working full-time probably wouldn't make that much of a difference because I have my days. What limits me is probably... I was going to say it's money because I can't do the things that I would love to do. But then Sean became incredibly successful without needing any money. I mean, he just records in his beautiful little Welsh miner's cottage. And, you know, whether by accident or design, he got it right. He managed to click into what people want to click into. Funny, on that subject, you know Bishnu, the big boss. This is true. This is true. Bishnu has never bought into the YouTube thing, right? Not that interested in it, not interested in what I'm doing, not like the other guys in the restaurant who've been there throughout it all and appeared in the videos and whatnot. Bish never really got it. And then he was talking to me last night. And he said, you know, I was speaking to the guys and they said, and they get excited about you. And, oh, he's got a new video out. And they get excited, they've got to watch it. He said, I don't get it. He said, what is your YouTube channel? Give me the link. So I gave him the link. He said, right, when I go home tonight, I'm going to watch your video. And he came in tonight, obviously. He said, I watched your video last night. I said, right, good, thank you. And he said, I've got some questions, but we were busy. He said, I'll ask you when we've got time. And then when we had time, he said, right. And he pulled out a list of questions that he'd actually written down. And they were very intuitive questions, like, when somebody sits down and watches your video, what is your intention that they will get from it? What is the benefit to them? What is their... And he went on at some length. And I was sort of explaining that, right, it's an insight. It's a personal insight. It's sharing part of your blah, blah, blah. And he said, yes, this is what I thought it was. And this went on, and he's basically saying that he went on for about 20 minutes. And he said, I really enjoyed that video. He's talking about episode 1 of the whale thing. He said, I really enjoyed it. He said, but I know you. So I'm interested because I know exactly who you are. We're very close. But now I feel that I know you better. But I can understand why other people would want to work. And he'd gone into all of my figures and everything. And then And now he's talking about doing it himself, or more accurately, getting me to do it. So he'd worked out what I was doing, or what I was trying to do, or what people were reacting to in my videos. And he's sort of saying, well, and I'm trying to explain my personal reasons for doing it. I think he thought I was just bloody, because, Bishnu is a hard working, hard grafting, money making machine, basically. And I don't think he got, he asked about that video. He said, this video has been up for 12 days, whatever it is. It's had this many views, blah, blah, blah. He said, how much has this earned you? And I said, guess. He said, I don't know exactly. Somewhere between 500 and 1,000 pounds. And I had a little giggle and I said, it's earned £3.73p, mate. I think you've got to get much bigger numbers than that to earn money. But he totally gets it now. He totally gets it. And he's excited to see this next one now. And he wants to do, and he was saying, what about my story? What about if I was to tell my story? Where I was born, the way, because he comes from very rural Nepal. And then there's a story of becoming a Gurkha. And if you don't know what's involved in becoming a Gurkha, it's horrific. The things that you have to go through to make the selection, and it's so intense and it's so horrific that honestly the death rate is appalling. And the death rate is a double thing. One is that lots of people die doing the training and the selection things, idiotic things like running up bloody the foothills of Everest, carrying a cow and all of that sort of nonsense. But also the death rate is massive from the people who don't make it committing suicide, because it's an intolerable failure that people can't cope with it. It's brought shame on themselves and shame on the family. Honestly, you probably know the Gurkha reputation. That's the reason for it. If you knew what they went through to make it. And so then you've got, talking about Bish's story. And then he leaves the army, comes out into the wide world, and works his arse off around Europe. He didn't start in the UK. He started out in Germany, believe it or not, doing his chef training and working through the ranks and so on and so on and so on, and then eventually ending up in the UK. And he worked his arse off in Germany to raise the money to launch a business in the UK. I can't tell you the sacrifices that he made and so many other people in similar positions make. They leave their family, they go to a different country, they work insane and illegal hours for illegally low pay, and they save up and save up and save up, send money home, but they have no luxuries. They live the most basic life, save up the money. And Bish saved up enough money to come to the UK and to buy a business, and it failed. And then he had to swallow his pride, go back to grafting wherever, save up the money again, start a business. It failed. And then, and I've spoken to him about this, that, how do you keep going? How do you go again when you've already, and there are so many sacrifices? That I believe, I always believe. And he went through it all again, raised the money again. He was living in, he was lodging in another Nepali chef's house, living in a tiny little box room, working 16, 17-hour days, raised the money for his third business, and that one worked. That one worked. That one happened to hit the sweet spot. But he's never stopped grafting. And I mean, now, I mean, we don't talk about money particularly, but he's very clearly a multimillionaire. Yeah, I mean, the restaurants is only the tip of the iceberg. It's property both here in the UK, in Nepal. He owns shops, he owns this, he owns that. He's gone into politics. He's the president of the Nepali UK community. Whatever. But my God, he's still a grafter. He's still a grafter. I mean, well, Samrat has been in Nepal after the sad passing of his father. Bish and I have been working together every night. And last night he looked so tired, and he was ill with this lurgy. And I said, Bish, you know, you look so tired. He said, well, I said, what time did you get here today? He said, yeah, I got here at 2:00. You know, bear in mind, I didn't rock up until 5. He said, but I was at Clay Cross at the other restaurant at 8:00 this morning, painting the walls and painting the ceilings. And then I came straight from there to here. I thought, Jesus Christ. So, you know, that's the kind of work ethic that you're talking about. But the point is that he now totally gets, finally, totally understands the YouTube thing. And he has very specifically asked me, can he come with me when I do a Wales video? And I've said, yeah, absolutely. And now he's talking about telling his own life story, and that's quite good. It's we've always been close, but now we're even more connected, if that makes sense. And I would love to do one of my videos with him, and I would love to be an executive producer or whatever on his videos if he ever decided to do them. I mean, really, what I should do is just really start videoing the restaurants, filming the restaurants, both as an advert and as a, you know, because there's a reason why all of the Gordon Ramsay stuff and all of that does really good television figures. Working in a restaurant is bloody insane, especially if it's a fine dining type restaurant, especially if it's super busy. You gotta love this. You've got to love this. Right. I'm talking about something that it's 4 minutes past midnight, so we should have finished by now. So I'm kind of on my time, if you like. I'm talking about something that I want to talk about, and somebody's texting me, telling me that I should move on. Bloody hell. This is the lunacy of YouTube, darlings. You give up your time, you share yourself, you share secrets, you talk about stuff that's meaningful to you, and somebody watching will text you on your private phone and say, talk about something else, do something else. Unbelievable. Everybody's a critic. So on that note, I will just shut up and go, because it's 5 minutes past midnight. I'm knackered, and clearly I've lost my audience. So there we are. I'll whiz through the comments and then we'll bugger off. Hello, Boatman and other people, says Steve Nespol. Ed Usher is here. Good evening. Sorry I'm late once again. I do apologise. I've just had my mouth full of pork cylinders, creamy mash and gravy. What have you had in your mouth this evening? Well, nothing yet, Ed. I'll be having a staff curry when I bugger off. Are we mad for posting videos, says Mustard? No, just a bit stupid. I'm very glad you and Mustard do it, says Peter P. Yes, you most certainly are mad, says Ed, but it's great fun to watch. Yes, it's mad in the sense of time spent, says Ben, struggling to make ends meet. However, it's enjoyable and fulfilling, so not so mad. To be honest, it's tough, says Skick. But no, it's not being mad. For me, you have to decide, do you have the tools to be a success? What I do think YouTubers have to think is what the audience want. I think if you made a documentary about having a sex change, I'm sure the channel would somewhat explode, says Ed Usher. Got to be me, the lovely Sherry, says, Ed, what are pork cylinders? Sausages, darling, sausages. Ben says, also my world, and I suspect many others, would be a lot graver if we didn't have Jason, Paul, Trace, Simon, Rob, Simone, and so many others creating from the heart. It's of great value to so many. Now I have too many videos to catch up with between you and Sean, says Sherry. I'm sorry. I agree, Ben, says Trace. And thank you for the mention there. It means a lot. And Sherry says, Ben, are you saying that all these people have channels? Skick says, money and time is the struggle. You have maybe it's the struggle you have. Maybe a good sponsor is key for you both. Yeah, well, Bishnu springs to mind, doesn't it? That was the point that I was trying to get to. My postcard from Blackpool video was damn near perfect audio-wise, says Trace. I felt like crying when I watched with headphones on and heard what I'd done. I totally get that. I can handle slow worms, says Simone. Very cool creatures. They really are. And then there are some links to channels. Ivor Spotty Botty is here. A very good evening, Boaty and everyone. Oh dear. Sherry still hasn't got any wine. Oh, bless her. We need to send some wine to Sherry. I was quite enjoying hearing about Bishnu, says Buddy Scrotter. Audience member still here, says Ben. How rude, says Trace. You don't like the content of the live? I can show you where the off button is if you want. Sausages, says Captain Mustard. And Peter P totally agrees with Trace. Well, I've caught up with the comments, darlings, and I didn't have much more to say about Bish, to be honest, just that, yeah, I probably said all I needed to say, really, but it's quite nice that he gets why, you know, given that if all goes according to plan, then we're going to be working a lot more closely together, and it's going to be him and me, and then, you know, then it's kind of cool that he gets why I choose to spend my day off or some hours during the day doing what I do. And it's even more cool that he would kind of like to do the same, and he'd get a lot more views than I do. Do a like, says Captain Mustard. Right. I would say it's probably time to go, darlings. It's 10 past midnight. But there we are. I've got curry to eat, and seriously, all I want to do is I want to get a little bit more squiffy. Thank you very much. I want to have a nice supper, and I've got a very nice supper on the horizon. Oh, yes. A rather good staff curry. And I added a few extra green chilies just to make life a little bit more interesting. Yeah, I want to eat. I want to get a little bit more squiffy. I want to watch a nice YouTube video. I don't know whose. What day is it? Oh, there should be a new Blot Outdoors out, shouldn't there? So yeah, I can watch that. And then I want to go to bed and just fall unconscious. And then I want to get up in the morning and I want to just crack on with my video, get it finished, get it as perfect as I can. I haven't got any corners this time, no compromises. Haven't had to rush it out. That I'm happy with the thumbnail. I've already done the thumbnail actually. I haven't written the description in my head yet, but that'll come tomorrow. Yeah, and then go back to work tomorrow night. In my humble opinion, says Ben, Bish is a valued and respected member of the Boaty's world community. He's lovely, and I would love to do more filming with Bish because I love Ram. I love everybody else in the restaurant. I loved Gopi when Gopi was part of it. Honestly, trust me, Bish is the one that I'm closest to, and Bish is, oh my God, he's such a fascinating man. He's if anybody was going to be a life coach, it should be somebody like him, and he would lead by example. And he has the gift of being able to express his innermost thoughts, drives. He has the gift of being able to express them. Not everybody has that. He would make amazing content, and he's asked to come with me and do a video. So I'm going to hold him to that, and that will be an absolute belter. I'm really excited about that. Do you sleep as nature intended? Asked Steve Nespaul. I always used to. Now, sometimes I wear a nightie. Fetal position with one eye open. Right, darlings, I'm going to go. I am going to go. 13 minutes past 12. Thank you so much for giving me your time tonight. Thank you. A massive, massive thank you to Mark Prasad for the super chat that was sent and the sentiments he expressed within that. I really appreciate both very much indeed. Thank you all of you for your time. Please join me again tomorrow night, same time, same place. We'll be talking about different things because the bloody film will be up and we won't have to be talking about that again. We can talk about, is it Mad Thursday tomorrow? Oh, it's Mad Thursday tomorrow, isn't it? It's Mad Thursday tomorrow. Anything goes. We can have fun. It needn't be deep and meaningful. It needn't be boring. And who knows, maybe the M11 will be co-hosting with me. Maybe. I will, if that's going to happen, I will let you know in advance so you can be sure to tune in. So thank you so much for giving me your time and your company and your indulgence. Please have a safe and peaceful night. My love to each and every one of you. Have the best day that you can tomorrow and just take the best care of yourselves that you can. Much love to you all. Pachoo and indeed. Oh yeah, bosh.